Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lainey. Thank you so much for stopping by. As you can tell by the title of today's video, we're going to be doing my glowy base routine. So if you're interested in to see how I get this kind of like natural glowy look, then just keep on watching. But before we get into that though, please remember to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video from me. Alright, so let's just hop right into the base routine. So first up would be to prime. Well, let me talk about skin prep first. So I just did my skincare about 20 minutes ago. I have a vitamin C serum on. I use the Dear Klairs one. And then I have the Milk Makeup moisturizer just because my skin has been really dry lately. And then I have my sunscreen on. So typically for a glowy base routine, I wouldn't use the sunscreen, but I am going to be out all day. It's Father's Day, the day that I'm filming this. So I'll be outside. So I wanted to use something a little more water resistant and long wearing. And so I'm using the Australian Gold Mineral Lotion Non-Greasy Antioxidant Rich UVA UVB Protection. This is sold out at Ulta, but it's still on the Australian Gold website and there are 3 tinted versions of this. I really like this product. I think they're just coming out with new packaging and that's why it's not at Ulta right now. I really hope because this is a really good one. It's more on the mattifying side, but that's okay because we have products that we can use to make the skin a little bit more glowy. But typically, if I were going to be doing this, I would reach for one of my Typically, I would use one of my 2 new sunscreens, because they give a little bit more of a glowier finish. This one has a little bit of mattifyingness to it because it's water resistant. But this is the Kinship one. This is SPF 32. This is supposed to be a more moisturizing one. It does give a bit of a satin kind of finish. And then this is the Cocoa Kind one, which is if I really want to go for that glow, I'd go for this one because it says it's supposed to be satin, but no, it's very glowy. So typically I would go for one of these sunscreens, but today I'm not because I'm going to be outside. But we're still going to add some glow. So we're going to start out with primer. And so what I have been doing a lot lately is mixing a glowy kind of mix-in product, illuminating product with my moisturizing primer. Mostly I'm just using this one because I'm panning it. This is the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Hyaluronic Hydrating Primer. This is really great hydrating primer if that's what you like. And then I'm mixing in the Wander Beauty Catch the Light Highlighter and Glotion. You could use something like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, Auric Glow Lust. I think the new Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow Highlight. I haven't gotten it in my hands yet, but I think that would be a good product for this. But right now I'm panning this. I am close to the end. It's a little darker than I would like, so, but it works because I'm just mixing it in with my primer. And so I like to use a brush to apply my primer. Today I'm just going to use this one because I did just wash my brushes at the sink yesterday. Typically I would use like my Cinema Secrets, but I am out. So a lot of them are still a little wet, but this one should be okay. And oh my god, I'm dropping everything right now. So I just squeeze. So this is the e.l.f. Airbrush Stipple Brush. And so, I don't know if it's going to focus on this because my face is in the background. I add about that much, and then I add a dollop of the Wander Beauty kind of mix-in product. If I was using like the Hollywood Flawless filter, I would just kind of apply the, oh my god, I'm dropping everything. I would apply the hyaluronic acid primer, but not blend it in, and then I would stripe on the Hollywood Flawless filter and just go like that. But this is what it looks like on the brush. So I just kind of stripe it on my face, kind of focusing on my cheeks first, and then my nose, and then my forehead. I really don't apply it to my chin. I don't really know why. I don't care to be glowy like underneath my chin. And then I just start to blend it out. And this just gives some nice hydration, especially using this more mattifying sunscreen. But also just some nice hydration and a nice luminosity to the skin. So I just kind of spread it out with this brush and it does the job. This is not my typical primer brush, but this is like when that one like needs to be cleaned. This is like my second in command. And I have 2 of these brushes. They're also really nice for cream blush. So that's primer. I think the key really is using the glowy mix-in product as opposed to just the hydrating one. So if I were to use my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip or my Urban Decay All Nighter Primer, like I would still like mix in something like this. It's not necessarily about this primer. This, I just wanted a nice boost of hydration, but if I wanted something with more longevity, I would use like the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip or the Urban Decay All Nighter that I have. So that's the priming step. So obviously the next step is foundation, and this obviously you're going to want to pick a more glowy or at least natural finish foundation. If you don't have that, you can mix in the illuminating product into that instead of the primer, which is what I did when I was panning my Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. I would mix that into the foundation. But right now I have a usage goal, and it's just my favorite foundation. The IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better foundation. I have the shade Fair Neutral 11. I love this foundation. It's very, it's not super glowy, but it's like glowy. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not like a grease ball. And I also should say I have combo skin to normal. Usually it's been pretty normal lately, but I've been having some dryness around my chin. But yeah, that's just a little backstory on my skin. Even when I was like kind of oily, I still wanted to be glowy. So I'm gonna mix this up, and I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Angled buffing brush just because it's the least wet foundation brush I have right now. I'm not too worried about that, but I am going to apply it like this. I know this is not the way you're supposed to, but I don't like touching it with my fingers, and this is too liquidy of a formula to just like put on the brush, so this is what I do. It's fine. And so I'm just gonna kind of buff it out, and I mostly focus again on my cheeks and my forehead and my nose. And I just kind of buff it out. I love this foundation brush too. And I mean, I don't really have much to say other than I buff it out like as you would with foundation. I love the finish of this foundation. It's just natural and a little bit glowy, but not like too glowy. And it gives great coverage, and it's pretty much a dupe for the Urban Decay Naked Skin, which is what I wanted. Okay, so that is the foundation. As you can see, you can still see some of the glow peeking through. And I just really love the finish of it. It's super, super pretty. So next is concealing. So I've been using my e.l.f., what is this? The Hydrating Camo Concealer Set and Finish in Fair Beige. I don't love this concealer, but it does the job. And so what I've been doing lately is, I'm almost done with this concealer. I've been applying a little bit to a fluffy eye blending brush and applying it to my blemishes. So I've been breaking out quite a bit lately, so I just kind of apply it mostly on this side. This side is okay, and I have a little dark spot I like to cover up right here. So I haven't like fully blended it out yet. I'm gonna let it sit there for while I do this next part, and then we'll come back to it. So next would be, I forgot to grab it, concealing my under eyes. I don't do this every day. This is the Flower Beauty, what is this? Chill Out Smoothing Color Corrector. I have the light peach shade. It just looks like this. I have no idea how it compares to like the Becca or the Pixie one. And I use the Sigma Precision Flat P80. I got this as a free gift with purchase, and I love this for the under eyes. So I just get a little bit on the brush, and I just kind of apply it here and apply a little bit here. This brush was definitely still wet, but it's fine. And it just helps once I put concealer over it to just help lighten up my under eye circles. So obviously I didn't do that for let this sit very long, but we are going to do concealer first. I'm just going to put a swipe here and a swipe here, not too much, and then we're going to blend it out. I forgot to grab my concealer brush, so let me grab that. Okay, so I use the Anissa Beauty Angled Concealer Brush. I bought this off of the recommendation of Amy Loves Makeup, and it's just one of these. I think Rare Beauty has a similar one. What I would recommend is Anissa Beauty typically has a lot of sales, so I would sign up for their email list and just wait until a good sale happens. I bought this on sale around like Black Friday, and I just kind of tap this concealer out. Okay, this brush is pretty dry, so that's good. And I just tap it out, and it gives decent coverage. I don't love this concealer, but I don't hate it either. My favorite concealer is the NYX, not NYX, the Tarte Shape Tape. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I really like it. And like, I'm not the biggest concealer person, so I just kind of like, I like that one. It worked for me. It's not drying on me. Okay, so we did the under eye concealer, and now I'm just gonna go with my foundation brush, and I'm gonna just tap out where I added that extra concealer on my blemishes, so it kind of blends in with my skin. And here we are. There's just like a natural glow to my skin that I think I really, really like. Yeah, I really like how this looks, but we're not done yet. So I used to be like a really big powder person. Like, I use powder all the time. Lately I've been just going for my under eyes. So the powder I've been using a lot lately is the CoverGirl Clean Professional, just because I'm panning it. Yeah, I have a few under eye powder brushes I like to use, but this is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. It just looks like this. I just get a little bit onto the brush, and I just dust it under my under eye so it doesn't crease. And that's that. So next up, I did want to mention just kind of like bronzer, blush, and highlight. So for bronzer, I kind of have two options. I have the Lip Bar Fresh Glow bronzer. So this is more, there is glitter in it, but you really don't see it on the skin. It's not like my favorite, but it's not like terrible either. And then I also have my Nabla Skin Bronzing. This is more of just a natural sheen to the face. I'm not going to use this today. I don't use bronzer every day. And also my bronzer brush is still wet, so I don't want to use it and mess these products up. So we're going to skip that. We're going to do blush next. So for blush, I would go for a cream blush if I really want a glowy effect. And so today I'm going to use my Tower 28 blush, the Beach Please blush in Magic Hour. It's just kind of, it goes with every look. It's just kind of like a rosy, a rosy neutral blush. So I have a few oh my god. I have a few brushes I like to use with cream blushes. The e.l.f. one, they have just a small stipple brush I like to use. I also like to use the Putty Blush Brush. Did I say that right? Yes. e.l.f. Putty Blush Brush. And so it's just kind of like a small stipple brush. It's kind of like flat. It's not really round. And I just kind of swirl it into the product. I pick some up and I apply how I like to apply blush. Everyone likes to apply blush on their face a little bit differently. I like to go kind of higher up and just tap and swirl into the skin. And just like that. So it just adds a little bit of life back into the face. But also being a little bit on the glowy side, as it is a cream. You could also apply this with a sponge or your fingers. That's not really something I enjoy doing. I am team brushes all the way. And that is my blush application. And it just adds life, but still luminosity to the skin. And then the final step of this glowy base routine is highlight. I've been loving cream highlight lately. I don't have like a ton in my collection, but I have this Musi Beauty Color Sheen in the shades Airy and Ambient. There's just a kind of light white gold and more of a yellow or kind of champagne-y gold. I am going to go with the shade Airy today, and I like to apply it with a brush. I don't like applying this with a sponge. I'm going to use this, I think it's a concealer brush from the Marble Luxe BH Cosmetics brush set. And so I'm just going to swirl it in Airy, which was that lighter shade, and apply it to the cheeks. And this is definitely more of a natural finish. It's not like the glowiest of highlights, or I should say like the most like strong, really, really bright highlights. It's just more of a natural glow that I really, really like. You can still notice I'm wearing highlight, but it just looks a little bit more natural than a really strong highlight. And so I really like that. They also work great as a base for a powder highlight. And then I might just dab a little bit on the nose. if I wanted to go more strong with my highlight, I would use my ColourPop Flexitarian, which was my original plan, but I forgot that I had pulled this out. But this is more of a strong highlight, like, hello, bam, in your face highlight. So that's another option, but this kind of completes the glowy base routine. Like, it's not something like super, super dewy, but just more like natural and just, I don't like the way my blush looks on camera. So this is the glowy base routine. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think down below. Please remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you like down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!